Today I'm going to an overview tutorial of my mesh animation add-on. Since it's an overview, so I will give quick examples of each section. So you will have a feel like what's this add-on for and what's the potential, and then decide whether you can check further for the detailed tutorials or not. Okay. So once you install my add-on, it's under the tool by default if you don't change anything. If you haven't changed it, so under the tools you will see the mesh anime, and you can see here it has several sections, but I have 4 core sections. So the first is function plotter, and the second is formula generation, and then is the free drawing. The last one is morph animation. So I also have some quick setting for renders. I will show them later once I have some plot. Okay, so first for the function plot. So once you open this, so the first thing you need to choose is like which mesh, what kind of mesh function you want to plot. So you can see there's several you can choose from. Explicit, parametric, polar, ODE, implicitly, or if you there's no function here, but you can choose the data. You can generate the data and upload and then plot from here. Okay. After you choose the function, then you type your the mesh type. Then you type after you choose your mesh mode, then you type your function here and then do the enter. After you enter, it will automatically detect what are the variables and what are the parameters. Then you do adjustment on them, and then do the plot. That's simple. Okay, but first you need to have an object which is grid pencil. So the grid pencil object must generate from my add-on. So you cannot like from here, it's not working. Okay, just add a plot from here, and then you can add a plot of the update the plot. But since we don't have any plotting, so I just add a new plot. Okay, see now I have the plot, so I can like do adjustment, whatever, like everything is live is super fast. Okay. So but before that, I just want to go back to like show these several settings. They are very simple but very powerful. Okay, so since I have this plot, if I change this viewport to the render view, so you can see it's colored, but if I add the blooming, it's more pretty. It's much pretty, or the blooming effect added. Okay, you also can make the background transparent. So then once you render, it will be transparent. So without transparent, so you can see the background. Okay, you also can add a background a grid. So the grid is just like the grid what you see on the viewport. But if you add that and see that again, it's more 3D feel, right? I like this, so that's why I added that. And also you can remove. Once you add a background, normally to add a new object, but I don't need it right now, so this let's just come to this focus on this plot. Okay, so since I have this plot, so next so you can see the settings here, the object settings, layer settings. The layer is very important concept. Okay, so let's select the object and then come to the data. So you can see all my plot actually is holding by layers. So every time I add the plot, actually the 2 layers added. One is the plot itself, another is the indices system. So the 2. Okay, so then you can see the layer set object settings for all the layers will affect all the layers, but Then you have the layer setting. So the layer setting will override the object settings. So normally there's no effect for the, there's no, normally just come to the layer setting, do all the settings, because they just override everything the object settings have, okay? Then you can do the settings. So for example, if I change it to the axis layers and also change the colors, blah, blah. So I can change the colors for the axis. See, okay. So just choose the layer and do the layer settings. That's straightforward, right? And you can change the color and for example, the color direction, whatever. And then the next is the layer animation. So you can add animation from here. So choose the layer. For example, I choose axis layer and add a grow animation. So you can see the axis have a grow animation. If I choose this one, add a writing animation, then I have a writing animation on my plot, right? That's the animation. So there are several animation preset animation you can choose. Okay, let me add another plot for the polar one and add a new polar one. Since we have the polar one, you can see the data from here. We have 2 more layers. If I hide the previous one, so I have this one. Okay, so then since I have this plot, but how I can, if I want to control the previous plot, but how? Because currently our surface like it's only for the polar, right? So I can do from here current plot control, and I can choose whatever. Like if I choose this one, I do the current plot, but this only for the plotting itself. If I choose like the indices, is no control at all, only for the plot. Okay, so once we have the this one, so I can change it like everything from here, right? Then I can choose. So this control will control the plot and the axis together for the transform. So you can do everything you want, and also you want to change for this one too, right? Okay, so that's for the control part. And also if you want like update this layer, since currently it's this plot, right? So if I want like change the, for example 2, I want to update it, I just update this one. You can see, right? And you can change the D. So that's the plotting. So that's how to, that's what the plot file. Okay, and then next let's come to the formula generation. The formula generation, you can see the first thing you need to choose like what's the formula cells. You can type use the code from here. You also can like update upload the file or PDF file works too, right? Let's just come to this one and give 2 quick example. So enter, let's type something. This is normal text. So you can like change its math mode or text mode. Okay, so for the text mode you can choose like what font you want. Okay, and this is for the LaTeX, for the OpTeX, but for the formula text you change them from the font family. But if you do the types math, so for the math you also can, you need to change it from here. Okay, also both font from here. Okay, a little different. Okay, and then we have this. We should select them to compile. If I don't select anything and I compile, it will give me errors, right? And I just select only compile the select one. Okay, so let me just hide this one right now and do my formula. Okay, so you can see my formula generated from there. And once I generate the formula, so there's some settings here. I can change the page size and the render type. Mesh is more pretty, but since my system is designed mainly for Grease Pencil, let's just stick to the Grease Pencil. And also, this color is for the majority color. So if I change this color, only change the majority. Okay. And once we generate our text, so normally there's three types. There's normal text, also there's strokes. For some special characters, for example, the square root, it's not a normal text. It's composed by a text and by a stroke. Sometimes if you have some shapes like a triangle or a circle, that's a stroke, that's a fill. Okay, since currently we only have a text and a stroke, you can see when we add animation, we can only add the text. For example, if I add a writing animation, let's see the effect. See, that's only for the text, not for the stroke. But we can also like add a stroke, something like if we want to transform. So currently the stroke have nothing, but once add, so you can see the transform is here, right? Okay, whatever. So that's the formula. So let's continue. So you also can like adjust the control separately each one. You can see the stroke line and also the text. If we want to change you can add animation just like before for this one. Also, you can change the material, right? Also, you can do the group, the same thing. The group is also, you can add animation. You can, let's just update the material, maybe to green and 30. Okay, so that's the group. Okay, that's a formula generation. Okay, so the next part is the free drawing. Let's just come to this one. And since we have, first you need to also have a object. Since you can add a new object. For example, add a new object, you also can use the exist one. If I use the exist one, for example, I choose the plot, just never mess with the plotting, because the plotting layer already have something. Just use some like layer never used, or you also can add a new layer. So if I add a new layer from here, like I change the name, then you should update layer tree. Every time you add a new layer, you need to update new tree, the layer tree. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay. So after you update the layer tree, then you can just come to the draw mode. So once you enter to the draw mode, first thing you need to choose a pen to draw. Then you can change the color by changing to the color attribute and then change the color from here. Okay, so also if you want to, if you have like draw a tablet or iPad or whatever you want to draw, use the size by the tablet. You need like deselect the custom radius. If you also, if you want like have a bloom effect by itself, you also like uncheck this interact with light. Okay, since this if okay, we already unchecked the common radius, so we can use the radius from here. Then I have a tablet, so I can draw through my tablet. Let me like draw something. Okay, this is free drawing. Okay, so then let me change the color to draw something else. Also I can like free draw whatever you want to draw. Okay, so once you're done your drawing, remember every time to exit this draw mode, otherwise it will have errors. I always forget this, but remember every time once you're done your draw, just exit from this drawing. Okay, so you can see then you can add animation to the drawer too. So for example, if I can add animation for this. Okay, I forget one thing. Each time when I do a draw, I need to go to the first. Let me draw a new thing. Okay. But let me exit first. So go to the first and first frame, then do the draw. Okay. Let me change the color. Draw again. This is draw. Okay. Once I have this draw, and let me exit first, and I choose this layer and add the animation layer writing. Let me try again. You can see the animation now is normal, right? Okay, so that's drawing stuff, and the last one is mouth animation. So you better up the layer tree before you go to the mouth animation, and then you come to here, the mouth animation, and choose object. For example, we have formula, we have like plotter, like I can add a mouth, go to the plot. So for example, let me add a mouth, like formula. Let's from this one to this one, and then to plotting, and then to drawing a layer. Okay. Okay. Let me add this, but since previously we already have a lot of animation, let's all come to this one and delete the animation. Okay, so we don't have animation for the plot. Also, let's choose this plot. It has a writing animation. For this one, I don't have animation. Okay, let's see the mouth. So you can see the text come to the plot, and then so anyway, the mouth animation can like between each type or across each type. So whatever you want for the mouth animation, it's pretty powerful. So you can like explore by yourself. Okay. Basically that's the overview of my math animation add-on. So see, like it's pretty powerful and have a lot of preset animation for each set, for each one. Anyway, so now you should have a sense like what's this animation for and what you can do with it, what's the potential. So I will have like a detailed tutorial for each part, for the plot and for the formula generation, also for the free drawing stuff, and also for the mouth animation, so there's far more detailed tutorials. Okay.